Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today for our case study assignment, we will do an interview for the topic managing stress as a student. So our interviewee, Amri, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, hello everyone. So my name is Khairul Amri. I am UNISA student and I am 22 years old this year.
Okay, thank you, Amri. So we will introduce ourselves. I'm SITI HAZIQAH.
And my name is MARDHIATul Yusuf.
And my name is IREENE DANIA.
Okay, so without further ado, we will start with our first question.
Okay, Amri. Can I call you Amri?
Sure.
Okay. So for the first question, I want to ask you about what are the main sources of stress for students in your program or university life? Can you explain which factor affect you the most as a student?
All right. Thank you so much, LAILA. I believe that every students, they have their own faces, their own challenges during the diploma or maybe degree, all right? So I think the first one, academic workload, all right? Because I think whenever that people having entered to the study life, they have to facing exams, they have to facing like a project, a group assignment. Those things is a very a big things to be carried out. So basically, academic workloads basically academic workloads is talking about they can have a lot of assignments or group projects in the same week. So basically they have a stress on to focus. They have a problem to focus which one they have to prioritize first, whether the group project or maybe the exam. Alright. Other than that, another academic workload, that was the first things that I would like to mention. Another one is time management. I believe the students that have difficulties to manage their times because I know that the student is not only learning, but I believe they have extracurricular, they have to practicing like somehow the soft skill itself and also enjoy some of the club. So this time, during this diploma or degree, they have to manage their time well. So these things to be exactly, this should be the main issue that they have to be facing during the studies. That's the things that I want to mention. The first one, academic workload, and also the time management.
Okay. Thank you, Amri.
Okay, now Amri, I'm going to ask you the second question. So, how do you usually feel when you experience academic stress, especially during busy periods such as assignment deadlines or examinations?
All right, thank you, Irene, for the questions. So basically, what I feel whenever that I feeling stress or maybe I got a pressure from the academically. So usually I feel like overwhelmed and also anxious in the same time because I know that every single time that we got another assignment, we got another group project, you have to thinking about the deadline. So basically the deadline, you have to like schedule everything, the group project, the assignment, the exam, when you should prioritize first. So whenever that you have the first one, example, the first things that you have to prioritize exam, so you have to focus on revisions. But if that was a group project first that have to be submitted, so I believe you have to focus on the group project. And somehow, another things that we can actually feel is anxious because I know that we actually want to get something perfect. Alright, so we need something perfect, and also we need like a good grades for every single things, like every single subject. So I know everyone gonna put their effort, their energy on that. So whenever this come, whenever the group project, whenever the assignment, whenever that comes to exam, in the short periods, so I believe the student gonna have the stress and also they're feeling overwhelmed and also anxious in the same time. Alright.
All right, thank you so much, Amri, for answering my questions.
Welcome.
Okay, so for the next question, Amri, what strategies do you use to manage or reduce stress?
All right, thank you, RAIDAH. So basically, I got a few things that I always practicing whenever that I got stressed. Like as the first example, I will organize my time properly since I said that time management is very important whenever that comes to the studies. So you have to organize your time well, so you can focus which one that you have to prioritize. Like example, you want to revisions, go for revisions. If you want to go for submit group assignment, then you have to meeting with your friends to submit the project. All right. So other than that, another than I prioritize the time management, I also take the short breaks, because I know that whenever that I focus a lot for a long terms, I will burn out. And I hope that with the short breaks, I can I give some time for myself to heal. And I think with the break times, I can get like small talk with my friends, or might be like get a cup of coffee, or something that you can release your stress. So other than that, and the first one, organize my time properly. The second one, the short breaks, and then lastly, I know the spiritual. Okay, the spiritual is a very important in the last my point here, because I know that whenever that you have a problem, I hope that you can provide sometimes for your spiritual, because I know that everyone that have their own religions and also they have their own trust. So at this point, you have to back to your spiritual. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Amri. So we move on to our next question.
Okay, for the next question, Amri, I want to ask about how do you do you receive any support when you're feeling stressed, and how helpful it is? How helpful it is this support? Sorry, Amri.
It's okay. All right. Thank you, LAILA, for that questions. Yes, I do receive the support I am feeling during the I am feeling stress, because I think that it's not to be okay whenever that you stress and you carry out alone. Carry out alone. Okay, so I receive the support from my friends. I receive support from my families and also from the lecturers sometimes, because I know that I cannot carry out alone. Because whenever that I carry out alone, I will burn out. I will frustrated with all the things. So when I feel overwhelmed with assignment or exam, I like to talk with my friends, because they are going through the same situations. Okay, and then we often discuss about our problems, because we know that in the same groups, in the same classes, that we have facing the same things. And also from my family side, I always talk to my parents, because I know that my parents should know how my conditions during these studies, because I know that they're also worried about my conditions, and also I have to be responsible to give some feedback towards them. I think whenever that you talk to someone, like example your friends or maybe your family members, I know you can be more calmer and also be more confident whenever that you do something. That's all.
Right, thank you so much, Amri. So now move to the fifth questions. So can you share a specific experience when you felt very stressed because of your studies, and what happened, and how did you handle the situation?
All right, thank you. So basically, I got experience that I feel a very stress moment, because I already had one moment, which is I joined one club. It's a high committee members in student representative council. So that the moments that you have to join this club, I know that I want to be participate in that club. So basically in the the student representative council, they have in student representative council, they got a lot of program that have a lot of things that you have to be handled by your own. Like example, if they have a hari raya at your college, so you have to meeting, you have to book out your proper what we call that. Yes, paperwork. Yes, so proper paperwork. So you have to be submitted to your highest up to present what you want to do during the Hari Raya. That was the example that I can give to you, because of that was the first moment that I feel very stressed, because I know that after Raya also we got some of exam, some of project group that we have to be submitted. But somehow, whenever that you jump into the clubs, you have to be responsible and you have to know how to be managed, because I know that every single people that have responsible, even that you are students, even you are the high committee members, you know you're responsible that you have to do. So I hope whenever that I got a very stressed moment, I got my support which is in my club members itself, and also some of from the friends members also. All right. So I give the example during Hari Raya we got clash. So basically the Hari Raya celebrating at the college that we actually having some same timeline with the project submitted and also the exam. So basically during that time we are very stressed because I know that it's not only me that having the feelings. So we try to manage the time and we have to be schedule everything, what the topic that we have to revise during that moment, and also what the things that you have to focus on the club. Okay, so like example, you want to focus on the AJK of what we call preparation of places. So you have to focus on that. So everything you have to be scheduled and manage itself. That's all.
All right. Thank you so much, Amri.
Welcome.
Okay, so Amri, in your opinion, how important is maintaining a balance between academic responsibilities and personal life?
Right, thank you, Raida, for that question. So basically, I think that is a very important because I know that whenever people that comes into studies, it's not only about studies. They have their own life, and I believe they have families. They have like somehow might be a partner that they are actually in going through. So whenever that you have a problem with your family, example, so you have to understand the moments that you have a family with your families don't ever comes it never comes into a friendship. So you just having that problem with your families. So don't ever put your family's problem into the friendship. So that was the thing that I have to be strength here, because not everyone they can actually able to manage that problem. So whenever that you have a problem with your family, just focus on the family. Don't ever put into the friendship. So the importance of balancing between academic and also responsibility during the personal life, I would say they have to be 50-50. So whenever that you put like your personal life is more than academic, it might be affects your academic result. Because I know that, like example, it's only example that you have a relationship and your girlfriend like asking you for breakup and you have an emotional damage and whatnot. So you are not focused on that academic. So that was the example that I can give. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Amri.
Welcome.
Okay, Amari. For the next question, I want to ask about, do you think universities like UNIZA provide enough support to help students manage their stress? And what improvement would you suggest?
All right, thank you so much. I think UNIZA somehow they actually support, but I would say that was a 50-50, since that we know that every single university, every single college, they have their own counselor. So I hope the counselor itself can take this awareness to gain more activities about mental health or might be stress management, because I know that it's not a lot of people, that take stress as a main issues, because I know that mental health is more important and whatnot. But you have to cure the first things, like example from the stress, it can lead for a mental health. So those the best one I say that you have to cure the first things, like example stress. From the stress, it can lead for mental health. So the counselor or might be any motivator out there, I hope it can do a lot of activities in every single university or might be in college, because I know that it rarely happens whenever counselor do some of program, like example mental health awareness, counseling days. Those is rarely in a month, but somehow I hope that they can be improvised in terms of activities. I know that people will not see the counselor as the main things in a university, because I know that they will not see that how stressed it is, because they're not facing it is. Because after that they will facing. After they will facing, they will say that the study is very crucial things to be thinking, because they have a stress, they have a problem with the group assignment might be, they have a problem on the grades might be. So I hope the counselor or any motivator out there can improvise the activity in every single month might be, because I know that mental health awareness and also the counseling day is a rarely in a month, but I hope in every single month they have can do activity to help the student that have a stress to be released. That's all.
Thank you, Amari.
Welcome.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you the last questions for today's sessions. So, based on your experience, what advice would you give to the new students on how to manage academic stress effectively? And if you could change one thing about how you handle stress, what would it be?
Alright, thank you so much, Irene. So based on my experience, what advice would I give to a new student on how to manage academic stress effectively? I would say, in my life, I would say I have to schedule everything because I know that the stress comes whenever that you're feeling you don't know which one to start. Okay, and after that, whenever that you don't know when to start, you will stress and you don't do anything. You're just wasting your time. So basically, for me, as my advice, I hope that every new students or maybe every single student out there, I hope you can manage well your schedule and your time, so you can prioritize which one it could be first. Sorry, it could be the one, and also, what the things that I would change. One thing about I would change about how handle the stress is don't ever go talking with someone that you just knowing them in a short periods, then you're telling about everything. Because I know that the someone who actually in a new periods is usually that they not have that trust on you. They will like spread out your stories out there. So I hope people who actually living in studies, I hope you don't trust people in a short periods. I hope that you can sharing your problem with your families or maybe someone that who actually close enough to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Amri, for answering our question.
Welcome.